Hey seniors, been thinking about you this morning. In fact, I did go for a run this morning, and I was thinking about you guys halfway through my run, and I decided to run 3.1 miles. Now, I didn't anticipate running that much when I started, but I got thinking about you guys and Juliana's analogy and metaphor of how this year was going. So I decided to push myself a little more and keep going here and keep going there. Ended up going 3.1 miles. It's like a cross country course, which the last time I ran a cross country course, I think, was when I played soccer. Our soccer coach used to make us run the cross country course, except he made us do what was then called an Indian run. I don't think they call it that anymore. But we, where the last guy has to run in front of the first guy, and then the last guy they keep doing that. And we had to do that. That's the last time I ran the cross country course like that. But thinking about you guys in that way, and so I kept running. I got to the end of the 3.1 miles, and guess what was waiting for me? Absolutely nothing, except the trash cans that I had to carry up my 22 steps up to my house, but because it's trash day. So I'm not gonna say that I'm feeling what you guys are feeling, right? But this is your last week of classes, and I wanted to just connect with you guys a little bit and talk with you a little bit, because I am thinking about you, right? And this is the only place I could find by myself. This is my kids' swing here out in the middle of our yard. Sorry if you're gonna get a little motion sickness watching me swing here, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts, unedited, right? No fancy things, nothing here, nothing there, except maybe this, right? But nothing. But I just want to talk to you about your last days, right? Because I tried to think of what would I have done if when I was in high school and something like this happened. Okay. Honestly, I don't know what I would have done, right? Everything's different, right? The atmosphere is different. The environment's different. The political atmosphere is different. The technological atmosphere is different. We didn't even have the technology, right, to probably pull off what you guys have been forced to or been asked to pull off, and what you guys have taken up with strides to pull off in these past couple months. But I remember, what I would have done, I probably would have just stopped. I would have stopped. Like my last semester of my senior year, I would have just not done anything. I did most of my work leading up through my junior year and the first half of my senior year. In fact, I probably, I could have stopped, not turned anything in, and still graduated, right? I would have graduated. In fact, I probably would have disconnected from my friends, just used it as an excuse not to talk to anybody else, right? Just kind of step back and stay disconnected from everything. But what I want to encourage you guys to do is to not do what I did or what I would have done. In fact, after high school, I disconnected from most of my friends, right? I didn't really talk to many of them. I talked to a couple of them now, a few of them. I actually probably talk to more of them now through Facebook and things like that. Yes, Facebook, now than I did the years after high school. But again, I'm gonna encourage you, don't do what I did. I'm gonna encourage you with a couple things. First thing is I want you to stay connected. Stay connected, right? I want you to stay connected to one another. Okay, I know that some of you are going to go off. You're going to go make new friends. You're going to have new adventures, and that's great and that's fantastic. Make those new connections and do those things. But don't give up what God has given you already. Don't give up what you have invested time into already. Right? I know being around some of your friends, you may not even have the same frustrations. Maybe you miss your friends, right? I know sometimes by the end of senior year, people get tired of seeing each other, right? That's part of that senioritis. They get tired of seeing each other and they just want to move on to the next thing. But I'm going to encourage you to stay connected to one another. I'm also going to encourage you to stay connected to Christ, right? Stay in the Word. Don't get out of the rhythm because you're getting into new ones, right? Be in His Word daily. Be around His Word all the time. Pray, worship, do whatever you need to do every day. Find time intentionally to stay connected to Him. Also stay connected to the body of Christ, right? We talked about the when kids go off from college and they have the freedom, they have all these different things, and how many people end up leaving the faith after they leave high school. Okay, I understand that. After they leave they end up leaving the faith because they have that freedom. But really, the number one reason that they do this is because they become disconnected. Right? They become frustrated with things. They become disconnected from a body of believers, from a group of people. What I'm going to do is encourage you to stay connected to the body of Christ. Stay connected to one another, stay connected to Christ himself, and stay connected to a body of believers. If that's finding a church when you go somewhere else, if that is staying connected to the church you're at, if you're staying around here, whatever you got to do, just stay connected. Second thing I want to do is kind of go back to one of the things that become a foundation for me in teaching, and teaching Bible in particular. A set of verses that always come to my mind. My mom's favorite verses were Proverbs 3:5-6, right? We could probably recite off the top of our head without even thinking. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean on your own understanding. He'll make your path straight. Right, that right there. But what it inspires me, and what has been kind of my driving verses in teaching, and even in how I studied the Bible, and even how I even direct my life, are the couple verses before that, where it says, don't let truth and love leave you. Never let them leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. It says that then you will have a good reputation with God and man. See, that's the thing about truth and love. We've probably talked about this enough. I don't think you can talk about it enough, but when you talk about truth and love, you talk about the driving force of love and kindness and goodness that we have toward one another, but also the foundation of truth on which we stand. That truth that God has given us in his Son, Jesus, that we read about in his word, that we see in the community of believers, but that truth and love, and as we let those be our driving force, both of them together, we see that we have not just a good reputation with God, that we have good standing with him, because that's what he desires. That is what his Son is the realization of truth and love. But what also we see is that it gives us good reputation with man, is how Solomon puts it. Another word for that is influence. See, truth and love give us influence in this world. Now, I'm going to encourage you not just to stay connected to each other and to Christ and to this body of believers, but I want you to live your life in truth and in love. I want you to live your life in truth and in love, so that you can have not just good standing with God and stay on the path that he has given you, but that you can influence this world. Because you are the ones that will change this world. You are the ones that will influence this world. And my prayer and my hope is that you all influence this world in a direction toward truth and love, because that is what this world needs. And it will see it through how you live your lives, how you teach your children, how you go to school, how you interact with each other. All of these things, your interactions, your reactions, your actions, if you focus these, and the driving force of these is truth and love, you will change the world, and you will influence this world beyond what you could even imagine right now. So that's my encouragement to you. Stay connected, and let your lives be driven by truth and love, and influence this world toward good. Love you, 12th grade. Praying the best for all of you.